Welcome back, everybody, to The Incredible Hoax. I am Mark Hoke, writer, composer, movie enthusiast, joined by...
Chris Hoke, writer, filmmaker, video doer-over, movie enthusiast.
Filmmaker extraordinaire.
Exactly. I like that, video doer-over. I like that.
That'll be in the new Webster's Dictionary
I know.
next week. Let's start the program with the quote of the week. I'm sure everybody's been putting in their guesses, trying to figure out. The quote of the week was, "You can't fly jets if you're colorblind." You can't fly jets if you're colorblind. That was from the film Little Miss Sunshine. So if you guessed Little Miss Sunshine, you were correct.
Yeah, he had to tell me. I didn't get it either, so he had to tell me. And once he said it, I was like, oh! I forgot about that. So anyway.
Yeah. Well, this week I've decided let's go a little easier. If you do not get this one, you should be kind of ashamed. If you've watched a lot of movies, you should get this one. This one's pretty easy. Here we go. It is, "Honey, I never drive faster than I can see. Besides that, it's all in the reflexes." All right, one more time. Yeah. "Honey, I never drive faster than I can see. Besides that, it's all in the reflexes."
I got something I want to say.
And you can't say it.
I know. I want to say it.
Anyway, if you know your guess, if you know the answer to that quote of the week, please get online and give us your guess at... I'm very distracted.
I'm distracted because I got something I want to say. Because I have the perfect little pun to go with that. Oh, God, it's killing me not to say it.
You know.
It would give away the answer. It would give away the answer. Oh, he's torturing me. Okay, I'll suppress it.
Yeah, suck it up.
Guess. Okay, same thing.
Oh, yes.
If you are the first one to guess on Facebook and you're the first one to guess via email, Facebook wall of The Incredible Hoax, go like that page. And then the email address is hoke@redseatelevision.com. And I have appropriately suppressed the pun I was going to make.
You're a professional. You sucked it in.
It was hard, though. You saw me wrestling with it.
Yeah. Well, I thought it'd be a little fun to give something a little easier for everybody.
Yeah. If you don't get this one.
Shame on you. Shame on you. Let's start this week by, I think we're close to wrapping up that first rapid fire segment from like a month ago now, whenever we started this.
Our rapid fire is...
Yeah, we're like...
It's more like a single shot.
Yeah.
Maybe double barreled at times. But not really rapid fire.
We haven't really quite got up to 35 miles per hour yet. We're still kind of in the school zone, you know.
Well, I mean, we ought to just rapid fire just one for them to see what it's like, and then they'll tell us what they like better. Because I can rapid fire if you want. Like, yes.
Yeah.
No. Spielberg. No. John Wayne. I mean...
Yeah, you could do
But that would kind of be boring, I would think.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You want us to be ourselves, I'm sure, right?
Exactly. Right.
Yes, right. Wink, wink. I think where we left off was right here. Which is better? The old studio system of the 30s and 40s or the film franchise system of the 90s and 2000s? Kind of a long question, but which is better? Old system, 30s, 40s, film franchise system of the 90s and 2000s.
Well, explain that 30s and 40s. Do you mean where they would like take stars and build them up, and they were under contract, and they would like build up stars like Shirley Temple and I'm drawing a blank, but I think Mickey Rooney was that way.
Yeah, you had kind of what they call the actors were
the stable
under contract, and
people.
they were like in a stable.
Yeah,
and even the crew, you'd have someone that was an art director.
Yeah.
He would be the art director for that studio, and he would do dozens of films a year for that studio, things like that.
As per usual, my answer is always in the middle, and I hate to say that yet again, but that's my answer because. With the stable system that permeated for years, there's all kinds of movies that didn't get made because they couldn't find somebody to star in it. Because, for instance, the X-Men movie. I was wanting an X-Men movie for years, but nobody would star in it because it was about a bunch of people.
Yeah,
so you couldn't get Schwarzenegger's not going to agree to be in a movie with 5 other big stars and them have to take a cut and pay and share a bunch of screen time. I mean, no offense to Schwarzenegger. I'm not saying he's egotistical or anything, but but they're stars. You know, they got they gotta like protect their status. So a movie like X-Men, that couldn't get made back then. And there's on and on. You know, there's tons of movies like that just could not get made. We had to wait for years to get a bunch of movies made that we wanted to see because of that system that no star would touch it. Conversely, we don't have any movie stars anymore. Not really. I'm sorry, but we don't.
Yeah.
We don't. I mean, what? How many actors do you go, oh my God, they got a new movie out? Oh, I am there.
Yeah.
No, you go now because of the concept or the franchise.
Right.
And like, remember when we were young, every summer you got a Schwarzenegger movie. And we were every year, it didn't matter what it was, we were seeing the Schwarzenegger movie.
Yeah.
Or Stallone. Or just whoever.
Right. Well, Bruce Willis was that
Bruce
way.
Willis was that way for
Harrison
a while.
Ford.
Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta see the new Harrison Ford movie.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, there's no actor that's like, I've got to see their new movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I catch a few on video.
Right.
Like, for instance, I'm a big, huge Billy Bob Thornton fan.
Same here.
And I'm going to see every damn movie he's in. But I'm not going to rush to the theater and be in a ticket line for it. I'll just catch it on video when I can. So the movie star age is done. I mean, people say, well, what about Will Smith? He's not. I'm sorry. I know people think he's the movie star. He's not. Because people go to his movies still because of the concepts. Will Smith's just smart enough to do high concept movies.
Right.
That's why you go see him. I mean, there'll be a few out there. Oh, I'm sorry, but I do go see. Well, you're one. You're in the minority.
Yeah.
Most people go to movies now because of the franchise or the concept. No more movie stars.
So you definitely lean toward the film franchise 90s, 2000s versus the...
If I had to pick, I'd take the franchises because I'd rather get movies get made because movies are about movies, not the stars.
Okay.
So if I had to pick my druthers, I would rather have the movies made than just fatten the wallet of this one or two actors.
Right.
You know?
Well, it's interesting because my answer might surprise you. I actually lean toward the old studio system. And
Really?
I tell you why.
Why?
Because back in those days, it was a producer-driven medium. And the producer had a sense of filmmaking. He had a sense of story. You know, I don't know that nowadays every producer I can make that same claim.
No.
But back in that day, it was certainly the case. A lot more had enough sense. They had a business sense, without question. They certainly had a business sense side, but they also had a sense of, okay, this is a good story, and who of my stable of directors can best get it done. That's why you like classic movies like The Wizard of Oz. You know, the producer removed the original director and put Victor Fleming in there. He knew that his vision was not being met for the story. So I think I think the producers were a lot smarter and a lot more savvy, and they had the ability to find within their company what it took to get the movie made. There are some pluses to the new system, but the new system, it just seems to me everything is just so corporate, so bland. Things are a lot more, I don't know, just generic.
If you heard a door squeaking, this is not a haunted house. My wife just rudely walked in to the house right when we're shooting. She's come home from a long day at work and just arrogantly even come into her own home. Can you imagine the gall? While we're shooting a TV show, she would have the gall to walk into her own home.
Are you sure it's not the ghost that the cats were seeing, you know?
That's why the cats are always in here, for God's sake.
See how it all comes around?
All right, I think
With that,
probably take our first break. So we'll be right back.
welcome back, everybody. We've been discussing, of course, all things movies. To continue today's discussion, we kind of had a rapid fire segment, and we'll go ahead and try to finish that up if we can. Knock on wood.
We're the slowest rapid fire.
We're going for the record, folks. Help us across the finish line. Okay, here we go. Pins at the ready.
Maybe we are rapid fire. We're just redefining what rapid fire means.
Ooh, I like that.
maybe that's
we're like visionaries.
Exactly, we're ahead of our.
We're ahead of ourselves. The next topic is, which do you prefer from director Ridley Scott? The early films from The Duelist to White Squall, or his latter films from Gladiator to Robin Hood?
Oh man, why you gotta do that to me?
That's a tough question, I know.
Well, I never saw White Squall, by the way. I saw most of his. That's like one or two I haven't seen.
But yeah, that was the film right before Gladiator, if memory serves.
Yeah, that's Jeff Bridges. I never did get around to seeing that one. I've seen like every other movie of his but White Squall.
But yeah, that period, that early period, because it includes Alien.
You know, it's hard to. You had Alien and Blade Runner. Mm-hmm. That's the two biggies. Right?
Thelma and Louise.
Okay, Thelma and Louise.
Black Rain was a minor hit.
Yeah, I would dismiss that as a low point.
1492 was.
That's the other one I haven't seen. I haven't seen 1492. I've not seen 1492. And I haven't seen White Squall. I think everything else I've seen. Like Someone to Watch Over Me.
Okay.
Saw that one. But you know, I as much as I hate to say it, I would have to take the newer, the Gladiator on over the old.
If you have to pick.
If I had to pick, because as much as I love Alien and Blade Runner is one of my favorite movies, but he just has been on a tear, you know, since Gladiator. He had, Gladiator I just thought was great. Black Hawk Down is like one of my favorite war movies ever. And what else has he done?
This era?
Yeah.
Well, Kingdom of Heaven, I liked. I
didn't care for that one.
You were kind of lukewarm on that, but American Gangster, I think.
Oh, that was a great movie.
You don't think you liked that?
That was a great movie. Hannibal. There was elements I really liked. The ending was just too much for my taste. And I don't mean violence. I'm just talking about what they were asking me to buy a whole lot of stuff I didn't want to buy.
Right.
And anyway, so I mean, but yeah, on the whole, I'd say this new period is a whole lot better. I hate to say it, because in the old period you had Legend, and it was horrible. Legend was so bad.
Yeah. God,
that movie stunk. I can't even believe he made it. That's how bad it is. And, Black Rain wasn't too good. And Someone to Watch Over Me was okay, but it was a pretty standard pat movie. Kind of beneath his abilities, I felt. I'll take the new period.
Right. Well, it's a close one for me as well. I say the new period as well, and I'll tell you why. It seems to me his early period, it was more devoted to style.
Oh yeah.
And not enough, and short on story.
Yeah.
And when he started to pick up his pace, he seemed to find the right pace for his films with Gladiator. Gladiator was a huge achievement for him.
Yeah.
Because it not only brought him back to prominence, which I'm thankful for, but it also, pacing-wise, it got him to a better place. Stylistically, I think he was able to achieve what he wanted, that Ridley Scott look. But also, he finally had a script, a story that you could really sink your teeth into.
Yeah.
And, films like Legend were kind of exercises in style. The Duelist, that's one of his early films, seemed to be kind of a stylistic echo of Kubrick's Barry Lyndon. It wasn't a bad movie.
And the casting was horrible.
Yeah, it was miscast a bit. Harvey Keitel
and Keith Carradine. It was one of the Carradines.
Yes.
One of the Carradines playing French or British nobleman, whatever it was.
Right.
Some sort of European nobleman. It was just horrible casting. But
yeah, I think once he was able to kind of get past just the style, and then also find a good writing teams that he's put together, he's been able to knock out, Gladiator, Black Hawk Down, and American Gangster, as you pointed out.
Yeah.
It seems like he's kind of found his footing, but I think he does kind of have the misfire in him as well.
Yeah.
But it seems like he's hitting more often than he's missing.
Well, he also mentioned his pacing, and his movies tend to, the older stuff especially. You're absolutely. They meandered. they did would meander quite a bit. And
Right.
as much as I used to love his movie, I'd be like, dude, man, come on, kind of.
Right.
And he would tend to sort of meander on things.
Well, I remember watching his commentary on Alien. He had done a what was it the 2001 edit or something like that. He had during the commentary he had mentioned that by his own admission, he's saying, "Hey, if I had cut that film today, my taste today, I probably wouldn't have gone this slow."
Yeah.
But so he said that when he did this newer edit, he tried to, cut it a little more crisper. But for the most part, the film's kind of slow, methodical approach is still there. But I thought that was interesting. It was like here was a guy who could look at his work and be somewhat objective about it. But you see that there has been growth there.
Right.
Ready for another question?
Yeah. What's next?
All right. We're going to start our true-false segment.
Oh, good Lord. This should go fast.
Maybe. Smell-o-vision is a terrible idea. Remember that? The whole theaters, and they were going to incorporate, anything you saw on the screen, you could actually have the smell.
How is that a true false question? That's an opinion question. How could that be true or false?
Well,
It's an opinion question.
it's like a statement, and then you say true or false. And
Oh,
it'd be
I thought true or false things had to be like fact and not fact. You can do that with opinion answers or questions?
Sure.
Okay.
We are on this show.
Smell-o-vision is a bad idea. Yeah, false. That's true.
Smell-o-vision is a terrible idea.
That's exactly, yes, it is a bad idea.
So in other words, true false is like you're agreeing or disagreeing by saying true or false.
Okay, all right. It's
See?
it's an unusual take, I think.
On true or false?
But that's kind of what we do here.
Hey, we're kind of bent that way.
All right, so yeah, smell-o-vision's a bad idea. True.
Yeah. Oh, we're going rapid fire. All right, he's done.
Well, I mean, I don't know what else to expel. I don't even remember it. I mean, I wasn't around.
You don't remember that?
I could, give you a smell.
Well, let me expound on this. They actually had not only did the smell-o-vision, but they also wanted to incorporate. And from my understanding, there's still talk of this. Is where your chairs like they'll vibrate if there's like an explosion. Really, kind of your interactive theater.
Well, they have that at Six Flags. Those are cool.
Yeah, and those are cool. I think smell-o-vision though is going too far.
Yeah. So you think that's a true statement?
So I think it's true. Yeah,
Cool.
that's too far. All right,
I would agree with that.
We'll move on. Killjoy. Anyway,
I like Kill the Killing. I just asked. I just didn't see it applicable. True or false to an opinion question.
well, this one will probably be the same thing. Too many vampire-themed movies are being made. True or false?
True. Yeah, absolutely. It's being done to death.
Yeah.
But
See, that's my opinion. I wrote down. See.
Yeah, I would say there's way too many vampire themed movies made. Because I mean, but that's all the time. You have it goes in cycles. We're in a vampire cycle. We kind of had been in a zombie cycle, and we're still somewhat in one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big fan of zombies movies, and so that's just fine with me. But everything. You always have these cycles. Disaster movies were big a few years ago.
Oh Lord, yeah.
And now they're gone.
Right.
And right now we're kind of in the superhero. We're kind of in the superhero.
Yeah, we kind of get a lot of comic book heroes, and then of course a lot of the vampire. What's interesting about the vampire thing is it's not just. I guess why it just seems like it's even more so is the television shows that are being True Blood and was it Vampire Diaries?
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't watch any of them.
It just seems like even in television we're getting a lot of vampire themed stuff, and you're like, wow, and it just seems like people would come up with a different.
Well, you know what my problem with vampire? You know what my problem with today's vampire stuff is? The romantic side. I don't care. They're vampires. Give me the good old fashioned monster vampire, and trying to kill it because it's bad and evil. Excuse me, those bushes. Free plug the bushes. But vampires are evil. You gotta kill them and get rid of them.
Yeah.
But now they make them all these days. It's all romanticized, like this forbidden love or this love that can't be consummated or whatever bullcrap angle they want to come up with.
Right.
That's boring to me.
Yeah.
Nothing disinterests me more than that. I can't think. As soon as I hear that, I clock out.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm not paying attention anymore. I watched the first Twilight, and I can't bring myself to watch the others. I can't. I just can't do it. I can't take it. I can't take it.
Yeah, well, we could. Yeah, that's a phenomenon for sure with that age group.
And no offense to you, Twilight lovers. If you love it, God bless you. I'm a Star Wars fan, and I know people out there don't like Star Wars, but I like it. They don't have to. I don't have to like Twilight for you to like it. Bless you. Go like Twilight all you want.
Right.
I just don't.
Well, there we are. How we doing on time?
Oh, we're way the hell over.
Oh, well, I guess we'll have to take a break.
And we'll be back.
We'll be back. Welcome back, everyone. We're going to continue our lively debate on the Incredible Hoax. We started a true-false segment.
Which is sort of true-false. Maybe they'll chime in on that.
Well,
do you think a true-false question could be opinion-based?
Sure. Well, I mean, it's agree, disagree, so...
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll defer to you. They do it on other shows. I'll just defer to you.
All right, next question.
It'll be deference out of respect. I'll just defer.
Oh, well, hey, thank you, man. I appreciate that. True, false. Bastard. Anyway.
True, false.
True, false. Director Christopher Nolan is the next Stanley Kubrick. True, false.
False. There can only be one Stanley Kubrick. No, I mean, it's like he's made some great movies. I mean, Momentum, you're a bigger fan of it than I am. I thought it was good, but once I saw it, I was kind of done with it. The Dark Knight was phenomenal. Should have been the best picture of that year. I mean, the Oscar or whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't even nominated. What Academy?
Well, it caused the change. I mean, why do you think they had 10 nominees the next year?
I know now, but now it's like 10 crappy movies.
I know.
It's like you overreacted.
Why don't you just pick the good ones in those 5?
Exactly. They shouldn't have left it off that year instead of whatever won.
They overcompensated. That's what the Academy does.
What was it? Slumdog Millionaire won that year, didn't it?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Destined to be the next Kramer versus Kramer, Annie Hall, Oliver, movies that should.
That's going to be a topic. That will be a topic of a future show. Is movies or actors that won Oscars and beat out somebody who really should have instead.
Yes, definitely next show.
Don't even get me started on that one. But anyway, I mean, Kubrick was special. He was at another plane. Nolan's made some good movies, but nowhere near the level of Kubrick. And he's just not there yet. I'm not saying he can't be there. I'm just saying he ain't there.
Right.
So to say he's just not Kubrick. So that's a false statement.
Well, I would agree. I want to say that his career is definitely on the ascension.
Yeah.
He continues to, with each movie, he keeps adding more and more to his talents, to the quality of films.
Yeah.
I mean, Inception has some really challenging material that he's able to get across in a very masterful way, and also it had mainstream appeal. Not everybody can do that.
Yeah, to deliver that complex of a movie to a mainstream audience the way he did was impressive. By the way, I didn't think the movie was as complicated as people made it out to be. Did you?
I didn't see what the big fuss was.
Yeah, we won't do any spoilers. Everybody was like, "Oh man, you gotta see it twice just to get it." I was like, "Dude, I mean,
right?
What's to get?" I mean, I didn't think it was that complicated.
I think if you've read like 3 sci-fi stories in your life, then you could follow this one pretty easily.
If you just watch movies and pay attention, you should get it.
Yeah.
If you're staring at your popcorn the whole time, you're going to get lost.
Right.
You know,
if you're like, can't get milk dud offhand, you're screwed.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on. The next one, true false. George Lucas is the most influential filmmaker of the last 50 years, considering his legacy goes beyond making movies. True false. Agree or disagree?
I would say it's true. I hate putting the most on anybody and anything. That's just my natures, because I'm always people that always sees 2 sides to every argument, devil's advocate and all this. That's just my personality.
Yeah.
So it troubles me to go the most, but for the sake of having a discussion, I'd say I mean, his movies reinvented marketing with Star Wars, the way it's marketed, how it's cut. the technology, with THX and Industrial Light and Magic and the sound, just THX, right? Yeah,
the THX.
He's revolutionized.
Yeah.
The logistics and mechanics behind the scenes,
right?
And which Cameron is sort of starting to do now. There's sort of a new revolution with Cameron behind it.
He's taking the ball and running with it.
I have a hard time conceding to him because he's just not. He just ain't as good as filmmakers as he used to be. I'm sorry. Maybe that's a whole nother discussion.
Yes, for another time.
But dude, really pay attention to the dialogue in Avatar and the story. It's not what you think it is. Pay attention next time you watch it.
Yeah.
It's. But anyway, so yeah, I have no problem with that statement. Yeah, sure. I mean, what he did with the prequels is just, and what he did with Indiana Jones 4, is pretty, lame. What he brought to those. But
from a story
point of view.
Story point of view.
But in terms of marketing, technology, he's the man.
Right.
He's the man.
Right. I think the technological push that he kind of put out there for, not just Hollywood, but I mean, it really spilled over into home video. I mean, when you're next thing you know, you're watching your VCR, your VHS VCR. Well, then the next thing you know, the medium's getting pushed to we can have a better picture. And it goes from VCR to DVD player, and the DVD player to Blu-ray. You got to give the man some credit because when he released Attack of the Clones, that was one of the big things. Is I wanted to release it in an HD picture, and at the time we're like, we didn't know that there was anything wrong. I didn't know anything was wrong with the picture to begin with. Yeah. I'm thinking DVD is the top of the line, but he's like, no, we can do better. And you have to admire someone who constantly goes, no. We can still do better and should do better, sound wise, visual wise. I mean, now people are enjoying. You may be watching this on a HD monitor right now. That's George Lucas pushing the medium, saying, "Hey, we can do better," and it spilled over and it inspired industry after industry.
Well, the whole surround sound in your home was born from the way he's of his companies, the way they mix the audio for their movies,
right?
And THX pushing all that, and people at home just wanting to see movies with theater sound. I mean, that all was born out of that big bang that was Star Wars. And this is still there's still ripples from it. And the whole reason why I got a surround sound system in my home is I wanted to watch Star Wars really loud.
Right.
And that's honest to God why I got it.
Right.
So, I mean, that's where it's born from. It's all born from that.
Yeah, I mean, because when they first came out with the surround sound, that was the selling point. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, when you go to the theater, it will have that kind of theater sound that you're used to hearing. Because you'd go to the theater and you'd hear stuff going off in the back speakers, and then it's neat stuff going off in the front, and then they're saying, no, you can duplicate it in your own home. You're like, no way. And then things like that.
Yeah.
We take it for granted now, but I mean, that's the kind of visionary that he is.
Yeah. If he could have just done the prequels better, it'd be perfect.
A topic for another day.
Another topic for another day.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody, to the Incredible Hoax. Once again, a lively debate on an array of topics, and hopefully you'll join in next week. Before we exit today, we want to give you the quote of the week one more time, which is, "Honey, I never drive faster than I can see. Besides that, it's all in the reflexes." And to submit your guesses online, go to
our Facebook page, The Incredible Hoax, and on our wall, write the answer. If you're the first one to answer, I'll send you
with the correct answer.
Yeah, with the correct answer. Should be a given, but with the correct answer, we'll mail you a Red Sea wristband. Or if you're the first person to email us at hoke@redseatelevision.com, we'll mail you a wristband. So email us, Facebook us, with the right answer to the quote. Say the quote again.
Oh yes, honey, I never drive faster than I can see. Besides that, it's all in the reflexes.
And if you don't get this one, shame on you.
Yes, shame.
Shame. And with now that we've publicly chastised you, we did you adieu.
Next week, everybody.